Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Keen M. I'm always in the projects, but I'm a little behind the scenes, so you don't always hear me or see me. But I'm gonna get the chance to talk to you today. And in this project where we're doing the mantel, fireplace mantel, I got to do all the staining, or we've started anyway. Just a reminder, this is what the floor looked like, and that's what we're working off of. So we went and we got all the stains that we had in the house. And one thing is to do a tip: try stains you don't think are going to work, because you're really not going to be sure until you're done which color you're going to like and which one's going to work in the room that you're in. So get a wide variety and try ones that you don't even think are going to make the grade, because you might be surprised, just like that blind date who showed up looking like a reject from Hee Haw and you ended up marrying him. So here's what we did. We did a fruitwood stain with and without an antique wax over it. We did a classic gray. We did a provincial. We did a cherry with the antique stain and without the antique stain. And we also did a colonial maple. And then we did a driftwood without and with the antique wax. And we also looked at the antique wax by itself. So when we were all done, we kind of narrowed it down to what we thought would really work. And we took that and we made some bigger samples. We've got the classic gray. This is the cherry. And then over here what we did is we did driftwood down below, and we, as you can see, we dragged out some of the gray and we dragged out a little of the cherry. And that's actually the one that we liked the most. So we took that in and we put it on the fireplace and checked it in the room, and we still liked it there. So we think that's the way we're going to go. And then what we did, oh, and don't forget, as you're going, make little notes. As you can see on all of my little samples, I've written down what they are, because after you do 2 or 3, you're not going to remember. So then we went and we started looking at distress marks. And again, I wrote down what they are. So I've got a sander marks over here. These are sander marks. This is a drill hole. This is a hammer on a punch. This is chisels. This was the teeth end of a what are those things? Pliers. Punch over here. The end of a Phillips screwdriver. And again, we tried all the different distress marks we could think of, and a few more. And then we put the stain on them, and what I'll tell you is I was kind of surprised. These were not marks I made. These were razor marks from him trimming something that just happened to be in the wood while we were working on it. And I wasn't really excited about them, but when the stain hit them, they kind of work. And you've got some nice punch marks there that look like wormholes, because we're trying to go for that weather look. This was all done with a rasp, I think it was. And then when you put the stain on, I was kind of surprised that it seemed like, I thought maybe these were a bit too much, but they actually look pretty nice. So when you're doing your samples, make sure you think about your aggression level that you're going to get out. So this might be like a Monday aggression, and this might be a Friday aggression, but you know, just do different levels of it and see, because you might think that this you want to see a lot of, this you only want to see once in a while, this may be really you only need a little bit of. So you want to see what they're going to look like at different levels of intensity on the wood. And it does change once you get the stain on of it. The stain settles into all the cracks and crevices and makes them pop more, and you'll get an impression of how it's going to look when you're all done, because before you put the stain on it, you really just don't really know. You're looking at it and you might think that's way too much, but when the stain gets on it, you'll probably like it. So do samples. Don't jump into your project right away with saws and chisels and razor blades. You want to make sure you do a couple samples and get your plan of attack down first. And then once you've got all that done, you're ready to go on your big project. So I'll turn it back over to Keen, and he can finish out the project for you. Thanks. Bye.